time, I'm going to call the Hardin County Board of Education meeting to order. And if everyone hadn't silenced their phones, we'd ask you to do that. And we'll also do the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. And board commitments. You ready? All right.
To improve our effectiveness, the Hardin County Board of Education commits to keep children first, listen, be prepared, be professional, demonstrate financial stewardship, represent the entire district and support district goals, and support board decisions.
Okay, thank you. And we have some recognitions tonight, and John Wright's going to take care of that for us.
Yes, sir. Our HCS Stronger Together Awards, and if you'll pass that resolution, Mr. Chairman, we'll get started.
Okay.
I move to pass the resolution.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to pass the resolution. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have some wonderful ladies to recognize this evening. First, we're going to bring up Miss Diane Kelly. Come on up, Diane. Diane is the director of our Hardin County Skills U program, which is formerly known as Adult Education, but Diane does a wonderful job, and she's extremely dedicated to her task. There are hundreds, maybe thousands of Hardin Countyans that can thank Diane and her team for helping get them through the GED program. Those who have earned their GED then have confidence and ability to find high-paying jobs and become productive citizens. The Hardin County Skills U team has helped more people earn their GED in Hardin County than any other Skills U team across the state. Hardin County Skills U is the leader in Kentucky and is used as an example because of its dedication and selfless attitude. And this lady is the captain of the ship. Thank you for what you do. Thank you, Diane. Wonderful. She's a really, really hard worker. Next, we'd like to bring up the ladies of the Fort Knox alumni chapter of the Delta Sigma Theta sorority. Come on up, ladies. Ms. Katina is the president of that group, but these are just wonderful, wonderful folks. They are instrumental in student success at Meadowview Elementary School. Their selfless acts include welcoming students back from breaks, providing emergency go kits for every classroom, spreading mulch on the playground, and facilitating girls mentoring groups on Saturdays. These groups discuss and teach life skills and various other things to young ladies. They purchased aprons for the cooking club and painted motivational thoughts in various areas of the school. What they do for our students at Meadowview is priceless, and we appreciate you all very, very much. Thank you. That is it, Mr. Chairman. Some wonderful folks that we honored tonight. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I would like to make a comment about the adult education program.
Okay.
Once upon a time, I had the honor of supervising that program for some time. And I think I was around since the inception, and since it began years ago, it has been the premier adult education program in the state of Kentucky. So we have a lot to be proud of there.
Absolutely.
Great. Okay, is that the end of that? Okay, focus on academics.
Tonight we'll be bringing up our new instructional technology coordinator, Miss Brandy Newton. She started her job here in August and has hit the ground running. She's doing a great job. Since she's in our department, I get a chance to talk about her. She's an outstanding teacher, first and foremost. She understands what best practice instruction looks like. She understands what best practice in technology instruction looks like. And most importantly, she loves kids. So when you put all that together, she was the right person for the job, and all the feedback I get from all the schools that she's working with, all the facilities, has been very, very good. So appreciate Brandy New. She's here tonight with some students from Creekside Elementary School. We have Jody Logston, Sadie Hess, and Brady Copeland, and we're going to let them come up here and share some things they're doing with technology in the classroom. So I'm going to turn it over to them.
Oh, we get
That's we gave you are virtual reality goggles. I'm not having you use them here in a second, but we have 2 sets that are available for checkout. We got them in September or October and are keeping them incredibly busy in the schools. We purchased them with a grant from Dow Chemical, our community partners, and because they're an expensive item. And the kiddos who we have here with us tonight, they actually did a virtual field trip to Jamestown. You guys want to come help me do the teacher part? So what's cool about these, and we're going to go ahead and have you guys put them up to your eyes, is that we are guiding you and know where you are and what you're doing. So we can use these in a classroom to create an experience, and that way the kiddos get to actually, well, Sadie, what did you tell me earlier? What did you like about using this in class?
No more field trips.
So what did you enjoy about it?
I liked using this because it helps me learn better to actually see what we're studying.
To see what you're studying. And you want to tell them where they're at right now? You can step up here. So what are they looking at inside there?
They're inside the Susan Constant.
Which is ship brought. They brought like settlers here? Mm-hmm. Yeah? Okay, so when did you guys use these in class? What were you studying?
We were studying their voyage over to America.
Okay. So where else can we take them? Is this the town?
Change it.
Yeah, we're going to change it. Here you go.
Oh, she has to do it. Oh, okay. Oh.
Fort James.
You're inside Fort James.
Yeah, so you're actually inside Fort James, which was precursor to Jamestown. You do it?
I can just read it.
Let's do this first. And if you guys will notice, there's probably some arrows in your goggles. If you'll follow them to the spot that's highlighted. It's okay. That's what most people do. Whether we take them to kindergarten or to high schoolers, we generally hear the when we stick them on their face. That's a good thing. So Jody's going to tell you guys about what you're looking at.
You're looking at the church. In the middle of the fort was a large church built in 1608. In 1614, Powhatan's daughter, Pocahontas, is believed to have married English colonist John Rolfe there, which led to a brief period of better, more peaceful relations between the colonists and the Native Americans.
You mean she didn't marry John Smith? No. Well, darling.
And look, I'm going to show you guys real quick. From the teacher side, do you want to take those down? Do you see, I see you guys, and you see those smiley faces? That's their goggles. So the teacher, like it was him who drew your attention to a spot, and then they see the little smiley faces on there. So it's not like we've given them free reign. The teachers kind of got it locked down in that situation, so they know exactly what's going on, and they know exactly what you're looking at. And we have these, there's hundreds that are already prescribed in there. This one's Jamestown. Oh, I like this one. So we're going to take you to another scene.
Okay.
Tell me about it.
These are firearms. Early firearms were heavy, difficult, and slow to load, and not that accurate. Still, they were important technologies that the Native Americans did not have that eventually helped the colonists defeat the Powhatan and other local Native Americans.
And then when you need to talk to the kids, because some of them will continue meandering while you're talking, you can pause them and make them look at you for a second, and then you start them right back up.
So this is Miss Wyatt from Creekside, these lovely kiddos, a teacher if we didn't mention that. And they use it in social studies class, but we've had people who have used it in health and family science classes. We have all kinds of anatomy ones that you can do on here as well. We've gone, polar expeditions with kindergarten. I mean, just some of the expeditions are actually in foreign languages. So we have foreign language classes that they're actually reading the signs in different languages at that point. I know German across the street. use that. And so we're also finding that it's really helping getting communication going. Now, you guys are pretty quiet, probably because of the circumstance, but generally as soon as they come up to your face, everyone starts talking and asking questions. So it's really helping us to follow up with questioning and writing lessons, because then the kids all have this shared experience. We've been using them in LI classrooms and special education and speech classrooms, because it gives them something to communicate about that they've all experienced together, and then we can take a lesson and roll from there. So,
Do you want to share what you're going to Jefferson County to observe?
yep, we're gonna go see a classroom, an immersive classroom with VR that actually has special needs kids that come in, and maybe if they have an anxiety disorder or something like that, they would have sound as well as the vision. So you would take them into a place like maybe a crowded space or some other place that would create that anxiety for them. It mimics the anxiety, so they can start to practice, okay, what would I do in this space? So we're gonna go learn from somebody else here in a month or so, and see what else we can do with these to help kids, you know, experience the real world outside the classroom. Because I wish we could take everybody to Jamestown and to Antarctica and everywhere else. We can't afford that, but we could afford this. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
A change in teaching. Yeah.
Come a long way.
Great, thank you all. Okay, construction updates, and I think they are passed on being here tonight, so we really don't have much going on. We're waiting on KDE to approve some plans for both schools, and we're kind of in a holding pattern there. Consideration of the consent agenda, and it's fairly standard. We're got to approve the draft budget for 2020 on here, and it is just a draft budget. We're approving some field trips for students, Lakewood Elementary to Fort Harriet, Kentucky, and I saw another one, but we have a cell tower group that's wanting to use some space from one of our schools, and we're probably going to go ahead and approve that tonight. We talked a little bit about it at noon and got a little more money out of them, so I guess the play game was good. I don't know if we can push any farther or not, but sometimes you just have to stop and say that's okay. So they're wanting to put a cellular tower. It'd be a monopole type tower down on the southeast side of the East Hardin school site, the existing school site, and that's about.
Jessica, did you want to talk about the two things from KDE?
This afternoon, we got notice from KDE that we had to get these waivers approved by the board. One of them has to do with the art room on the new Lincoln Trail being on the second floor.
Okay.
I guess that typically it's an issue if it's not on the first floor, so we just have to have board approved for the waiver to have it built on the second floor. The second one has to do with volleyball inserts for the East Hardin and the new Lincoln Trail as well, versus the old style where you brought them out and put them on the court. They now have the flush that go into the gymnasium floor with the silver covers, and so you have to get a waiver to approve that to go into the gym floor. So those were the two, or the three actually, waivers that KDE got back with us this afternoon, and so we just need board approval on those. So that was added late this afternoon.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, that probably was just maybe a drawing error on the floor for the volleyball, or.
Well, I think it has to do with them being flush on the floor versus the old style way. They want.
It wasn't an error, it was, we approved the plans, but even though you all had approved the plans, they say, we want this pointed out and
Above
a
and
waiver added to the approval of the plans that have been submitted, so.
Right.
But we are going with the flush ones,
Right.
right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
That's what it should have been.
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
No more of the
Okay.
ones with the tire around
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Right. Anyone have anything they want to pull out, discuss, or?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to approve. Any other questions or anything? If not, we'll vote on it. All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. And, action items, we got any action items tonight?
No, sir.
New business. Kay, you want to give a little update on the meeting last night to let the general public know what we're...
Well, we had our first LPC meeting last night. We had a good turnout, and we had a good audience come to the meeting. Really good questions asked. We had information on enrollment, and we had some maps that showed us the school districts that were involved and what we were proposing on moving where and some of the options we had. And we had, I think, 3 or 4 options that we talked about. And basically, all this meeting was to give us the information and allow the audience to have some input and ask some questions. And then we're going to meet again here in the near future to, I guess, actually take some actions on a recommendation to the board.
Yes.
So, it was a very good meeting. Lasted about an hour and a half.
Yeah, I slipped in as a audience back there, and I believe there must have been close to 30 people in
Oh,
the-
yeah, there was a good crowd
It was
here.
a great
Yeah.
crowd, and
A lot of Lakewood folks were here. I think they had some concerns.
it was well facilitated. I think everyone had an option to speak. John done a good job, and he gave them the second time to speak. So, you know, if you attend a meeting and you don't say what's on your mind or what's in your heart, then we don't know what you're thinking. So we appreciate you being here and saying.
And I got a binder that's about this thick.
That's the reason we appointed you. We thought you had a lot of reading time.
Appreciate you going.
Yeah,
She volunteered.
I left it here.
The other part of that, that we sent home a letter to each of the students at Lakewood, Creekside, Cecilia Valley, and West Hardin, so they would know if they wanted to have input. We have a Remind 101 that parents can sign up for, so we will tell them, like last night, John immediately after the meeting let them know that there were 4 proposals and that they could look online to see those, and then we will also send out a future Remind 101 when we actually have that date scheduled for the next meeting. We also gave them the website of where they could look that up on the district website. And then we also have an email address that parents and citizens can send emails to, and all of that is on the district website as well. So we're really trying to get community input and value the input that they are sharing with us.
Well, based on some feedback I've already gotten, I think it's important that people understand this is not a direct board action. This is a committee that is working to make recommendations that'll be brought before the board eventually.
Correct.
But that there's been some confusion in the several people that have talked to me already. So,
Well, and the other information we got last night was bonding capacity. Some financial information on that, and we tried to make it very clear that the capital funds construction account is totally separate from the general fund. We can't, we can only do construction out of that account, so we tried to make that clear. But we got good news on that front.
bonding
Yes, we have more bonding ability than we thought, so that's good.
It's always good to be able to
Go with that.
plenty of money to be able to borrow,
Yeah.
It is, but I I've always been a firm advocate of having bonding power. If you don't have bonding power, then your district is weak. So we've been able to maintain that, and I hope it stays that way. I want to thank all the principals for being out here. I should have done that earlier, but several of them here, and one of them sitting back there, and I think he's got a ball team that's undefeated this year, and I'm sure he's proud of that. So we'd like for them to all be undefeated, but unfortunately, we've got 3 schools that has to play each other, so it creates a little problem there. But they're all doing well, and I didn't see you standing back there in the back, but yeah, things are going great. And superintendent's report.
Yes.
New business.
Yes, first off, we want to thank Mr. Wright. If you look around, and Lisa at the Family Resource Center, but Educational Resource Center. If you look around at the pictures that we have out in our hallways and inside our boardroom, we felt that since we were about students, we should show our students in all of our different schools. So you see a variety of pictures in here, but out in the hallways you can see individual school pictures, and they are absolutely beautiful. Mr. Wright has been working really, really hard on this, so we appreciate that. And this truly represents our district, the diversity of our district, as well as the variety of opportunities we provide in Hardin County schools. So this is just a sampling of that, so we really appreciate that. The second thing is we have board appreciation tonight. So Chairman, you may notice we have some additional principals here and directors here. We have some that are always here, but they are here because they appreciate your all's hard work and dedication to Hardin County schools and what you do on a daily basis. I know some people may be under the false impression that you come on this one night and that's the end of your work, but that is absolutely not true. We are truly blessed in Hardin County to have a board that represents the entire district but also works together. They go to noon meetings, they check emails, they take phone calls. So this is not a once a month evening type of commitment. They are fully committed and represent you as the community, you as teachers, and you as principals and directors all very, very well. So we just want to thank you all for that. So we have an appreciation basket for each of you all. So, and the basket, much like we ask our schools, if possible, to take a trip inside the state of Kentucky, because that's where the tax dollars are coming from. So you have a Kentucky basket. Everything in this basket was made in Kentucky. So we wanted to just share our appreciation to each of you and thank you for the commitment you make on the behalf of our students every day.
And we have some rock bottom goat soap in there.
Yes, they do have some goat soap in there. So, but again, we do appreciate you all very much. So thank you.
Dog candles.
Thank you all.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And I really think the other side of the story on the picture changes, there was a group took a picture back here for Facebook at Christmas, and I photobombed it. I was in, my picture was right in the side of it. So I think they decided then they needed to take our picture down. Put the,
You ruined it, darling.
I ruined
You
it.
ruined it.
We had some
Yeah,
great.
it does look nice. It's more refreshing, isn't it?
Yes.
See all those old grumbly people like us up there with
Yeah, it's
frowns
bright.
on their face and whatever.
Like Wayne Carrick, our custodian, he saved me some days, so
Good,
he did a great job.
yeah.
Wayne's a
Very
good guy.
student-centered, yes.
Yeah, we appreciate that the students are up there now. That's great.
Yeah. Okay, we have an executive session tonight and for a student hearing. So that will be the last. We don't have anything else, I don't think, on the agenda beyond that.
Yeah. We do have refreshments out here first that we would like to ask you all to participate in prior to going to the student hearing.
Okay. January the 21st is Martin Luther King Day, offices and school will be out that day, and we will be having another board meeting, I guess, before any of those other things take place. So
Yes.
we have one day out, and one day is out in February for President's Day.
President's
2 days.
Day, yeah.
Okay. So that's what the report is, and I'll need a motion that we go into executive session for student hearing.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion, we go into executive session for a student hearing.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. So we'll take a short recess out here. Thank you all for coming out tonight.